You will rob you or be exterminated! Exterminate! Exterminate!
After eating some sweets in the last story, the Doctor gets a toothache. Luckily for him, they land somewhere with a dentist. Unluckily for him, it's the OK Corral, and his dentist is Doc Holliday. The longer they stay, the more they get roped into the events of the infamous gunfight, with the Doctor being mistaken for Doc Holliday, leaving him in a rather dangerous spot. How will the Doctor manage to convince everyone he's not Doc Holliday? Are Stephen and Dodo safe? And who in the town will make it out alive? Let's find out as we review The Gunfighters, written by Donald Cotton and directed by Rex Tucker, and was first broadcast on the 30th of April to the 21st of May 1966.
I'm Conrad.
And I'm Nick.
And we are
The Eyes of Harmony.
Yeehaw! Yo!
Yes, the guy does when he kills the guy. Okay, so yes, The Gunfighters. Towards the end of the William Hartnell era, and
Closing in on that.
it's one thing you can definitely tell if you compare the end stories, even like Galaxy 4, the recreation, because you get episode 3, they're so different. The kind of style when you compare them to like the first season, it's like a completely different show. Really, I remember like comparing the two once. I watched, I think it was the Aztecs, and I watched, I think not long after, like the War Machines, and they're really different. Like the style that they're kind of done in, and the Gunfighters.
I would agree, but I think that would be more
style.
down to the because like I think that the change there pretty much happened when Verity Lambert left.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's good because it always gives it kind of a nice. It doesn't make it become too boring, and it always improves. And then like second Doctor era, you know, completely again, it's another kind of era.
I think it kind of takes the same feeling, but I think it works better for Patrick Troughton's
Definitely,
Doctor.
especially his second season. Ooh-wee, what a season that was. But anyway, Gunfighters.
Yes.
So, one thing, sets are impressive.
Oh yeah, it does quite convincingly get this feeling to be West, and it's quite a lot of varied locations actually. So
It does, yeah.
main
it does a lot.
area, you've got several buildings at the inside, the jailhouse.
Horses. That's always good when they get the horses on set because it just makes it feel like a bigger world. And like the sound, it was just really impressive for like, you know, a set. Like I'm just, you know, kind of every time I'm kind of a bit gobsmacked to how good it is. So obviously this leads on from the last one, the Celestial Toymaker, because he eats the fat kid's sweets.
The ending thing of that is that he drops the sweet bag
and he goes, oh, and it's so he gets toothache because they were like bad sweets on purpose or something. Or the doctors just didn't brush his teeth. All that adventuring and he didn't brush his teeth. So yeah, so he come and Wild West, and then it's all good, and then
then they sort of stand around and Stephen's useless with a gun and stuff.
What the hell was Stephen thinking wearing those clothes? So you go back to a historical thing. You're like, oh, I better blend in. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna go in, you know, fancy dress kind of cowboy stuff. That's what you go to, like, a New Year's Eve party, you know?
Yeah.
Or if you're a male stripper. That's the kind of costume that was. At least Dodo put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Stephen's just a bit...
Not that anybody in the episode questions it.
Yeah. And that's why the Doctor makes him an entertainer, I guess, which makes a bit of sense, but... Like, yeah, it's weird. I would say that another good thing is how big the cast is, especially in later on the lynching scene. That was a really good. It was kind of. I liked how big it was. It was about as big as the Town Called Mercy kind of group, really, which makes it always look a bit better because you're like, okay, this is actually a real town. It really gave made the historical kind of better, and it's always nice that they chose a really interesting historical thing because you know Doc Holliday did exist, and so did his. Kate, she existed, though she was called Big Nose Kate and looks nothing like the Sheena Marsh who plays her in this one. The original had a big nose and wasn't a great looker like Sheena Marsh was in that one.
No.
But I must say they're all actually pretty good with the American accent.
Yeah, no, they're all pretty
It's
good,
relatively quite strong. I mean, there's obviously people who were stronger than others.
Yeah, there's a couple of. I did notice a couple of times people lost their accents, at least for a moment or two.
But I'd say it's relatively good, and especially because it's like more like a live play that they have to remember their lines and do an accent. It's easy in a movie where you have cuts every now and then. It's like, oh, cut. They couldn't afford cuts back in those days, so you had to carry on.
I'd say William Hartnell's performance is generally quite strong here as well.
Oh, it's great. Especially, there's a lot of comedic moments, really.
Yeah. One moment in particular I noted was when he's about to get his teeth pulled out, and then he just realises there's no anaesthetic, just the face he makes is there.
Yeah. Also, it's like when it's like, oh, you'll be our first customer. It's like, oh, and tries to lick it, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then he sits him down, and then Kate grabs his cheek. And then it's also the bit when he's like holding the gun and he's just looking at it. He's twisting it like Kate pushes the gun over because he points it right at her. It's like the first time he's ever held a weapon, so it's quite good, really. But yeah, I mean, Steven and Dodo don't really do too much in this. They sit in their rooms.
Dodo generally does a bit more and gets more out of it.
Definitely.
I actually quite enjoy her performance in this episode.
Yeah.
She doesn't get many chances to shine, but I think this is one episode where she's strong.
Celestial Toymaker, the last episode, from what I've seen, she's quite strong, and that's good because they kind of gave her companions. The Celestial Toymaker is quite a companion-heavy one, really.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I do enjoy this story, but then there's the song.
Oh my god.
The song. Now, the song is not exactly bad, but it's just too often.
It really is.
Every scene change, it's basically there.
Every scene time, the background music, when Steven and Dodo sing, when freaking...
when people die.
Yeah.
It's
every song.
curtains for Charlie. Do.
It is every song in the story, and it completely grates on you after such a quick period of time. Like the second time you hear it, you're already sick of it. But then you've got another 4 episodes to go with it consistently happening, which makes 4 episodes feel like 8.
It is. Oh god. And yeah, twice an episode would be enough. Or just at the very end after the shootout, But yeah, it's just too often. I don't know, and it's the only song. The next song is in the Christmas Invasion, all those years with lyrics. The next song, the proper song, is all those years later.
I guess because they only use it so much here that everyone was put off with it.
Yeah, well, that's what it's notorious for. I remember the first time, I was like, oh, okay, song, odd. I'd say it's a really weird one to have survived, though. I mean, it's a historical one.
True. You would have thought that out of all the episodes that people would have picked to go. I don't know how this one was saved, actually. Was it?
I think it just never got rid of, or maybe it was.
Well, no, they all got rid of. I think at least the master tapes. I don't know whether or not. Hang on.
I just don't think it was ever lost. I know it was released with there was the William Hartnell VHS box set, which had the Time Meddler, the Sensorites, and the Gunfighters, which I actually still had at home, while also having the DVD version. One thing which is actually incredibly good about this is definitely the directing. They have some really interesting shots here, and angles. There's even a top-down one at one point of Dodo and Steven kind of in the early episode 1. And even though it's just for a few seconds, it always just makes it feel a lot more fresh. And it's nice. It never got boring to look at, I'd say. I mean, there's still problems with it. After the Doctor, so what's good is there's 2 Docs. There's Doc Holliday and obviously the Doctor. These guys want to kill Doc Holliday, but they've never seen him before. But he wears a black coat, like the Doctor. Coincidence. But it's it's a good twist. And yeah, so basically, after heading back to the bar, the Doctor's just had his tooth out, okay, and he's heading back to the bar. Kate somehow gets there before the Doctor. She would have had to have sprinted past the Doctor, Because they're another thing which makes the song even more grating is that Steven sings it a few times in episode 1 and 2.
And they force him to do it like several times in a row, and Dodo.
I know it's supposed to be kind of torch.
On that scene, when I keep forgetting the woman. Kate. When she gets back in and starts complaining about the fact that they were playing, why does she get Steven to play the piano? Because Dodo's the one who was the piano player. He suddenly just tells Steven to go play the piano, and he can suddenly do it when he was supposed to be the singing specialist.
Yeah, how can everybody play the piano?
And so well, he just suddenly does this.
No, yeah, Steve. I mean, Peter Purves, decent singer. I mean, at least he wasn't bad. It was just sometimes it was comical without it meaning to. Like at one point, you could tell the actors all had to say a line at one point, but then they weren't sure when to say it, so they kind of did. But someone was a bit late, so it was oh, when I get back, if you get back, it was something like that along those lines. It was kind of early episode, and there was a lot of kind of unpurposeful comical moments, but I'd say probably the best comical moments are with Doc Holliday. Because he plays it so well.
He does. I really do enjoy him.
Anthony, however you want to do it, Anthony Jacobs, he does really good, especially when they're at the hotel later and he goes around the corner, you hear guns, and he's like, oh, I just walked into an old friend and he lost his appetite.
Yeah.
It's funny stuff like that. But yeah, there was a really good subtlety, because Big Nose Kate, they just call Kate in this, she was a prostitute back in the days. So it's like, Charlie goes, oh, well, I do have a singer, but, she's not often here, if you get what I mean. And Dodo's like, I think I get what you mean.
Yeah.
He means, out doing guys for money.
Yeah.
One
thing I have to say about this episode is that it is quite slow.
Yeah. Not a lot happens, really. It's quite plot light, and then they bring Johnny Ringo in probably a bit late, but it was good that they brought someone else in, because if Johnny Ringo hadn't appeared, the story would have died at about episode 2.
Yeah. To be honest, nothing moments that would be relatively small-ish moments in other stories become big moments because everything else is so slow.
Yeah, definitely.
Which it works in some ways, considering it builds up the tension to the final finale, because everything slowly kind of builds up to the final shootout. Though the way they portrayed it didn't entirely. You don't get that sense until right at the end. It's like, oh, because that happened and that build up to this, and
yeah. I'd say, Charlie the bartender was good.
Yeah.
And I was actually sad when he died. I was like, oh no, why? Because you could tell he was he talked a bit too much, and then but he didn't deserve to die. So it was actually sad that Charlie died. But I'd like to say, episode 1, good cliffhanger. The Doctor walking back, and they were waiting to shoot him. Episode 2, the lynching. Gets my cliffhanger of the week. That was such a good one. That lynching one. The Doctor kind of dogs Stephen right in it. Oh, hello, my friend just gave me a gun. Here you go. Because he brings it to him when he's in the prison to bust his way out and get to the. And yes
and no.
It's why would you dog?
They've already got the Doctor anyway.
The best bit is when they want the Doctor, and he's trying to argue with the sheriff inside, and he walks in front of the doorway, and the sheriff quickly pulls him out of the way because he goes in gunfire. It's kind of the naivety of the Doctor's quite enjoyable. But episode 3 cliffhanger sucks. Episode 3, do you remember it?
Not at the top of my head.
Yeah, because it sucks. The sheriff, the guy who's standing in for the sheriff, because the other 2 have gone off. Remember, the main sheriff has gone off, and with his mate, so they put this other guy in charge.
Oh yeah,
and these 2 guys come in to break out the guy who got shot or hit on the head during the lynching mob. And he goes, get the keys, so and he's got his gun right here. And instead of just doing what they say, he tries to grab for his gun.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
And when he dies, he shouts Yahoo!
Yeah, I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Yahoo! I more thought of Mario, to be honest. It made me like, because it was so forced, like Yahoo.
Super Warren Brothers.
But yeah, and the cliffhanger is just the guy down on the floor. Like, we don't care about this guy.
That isn't really a cliffhanger, and we barely saw him.
We don't care. Charlie dying would have been a better cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You know? At least a better cliffhanger. But yeah, there's a lot of slow moments, especially hotel room talkings and so on. I quite like when Dodo's threatening Doc Holliday with the gun. It's like, I'll try and aim for your arm. It's like, well, right now you're aiming right between my eyes. It's just like, oh,
sorry.
Is that better?
Yeah, that was a funny moment.
Donald Cotton does good writing here. I mean, he also wrote The Mythmakers, which I'm not sure was as comedic. I remember I did listen to the audio, but that was a long time ago, and I can't remember if it was comedic or not. But, cool fact, Rex Tucker was originally actually going to direct Unearthly Child. And he was the caretaker producer, which is the phrase, where basically he was just kind of helping, but he wasn't full in on it. So yeah, that's
I would say,
interesting stuff.
Partway through the episode, the Doctor gets handed a deputy's badge and does nothing with it and immediately hands it back.
Yeah.
And then he's given it back again.
Well, it's because in the actual history, Doc Holliday became the sheriff for a short while, and then the shootout happened. So I think they were doing a twist that it wasn't Doc Holliday, it was the Doctor who became the sheriff.
Well, he became the deputy, not the sheriff.
Well, yeah, whatever. It was. They were trying to mix it in, which was decent.
That makes sense.
But I mean, yes, Johnny Ringo was okay.
It was cool. He had a presence to it.
Yeah,
like,
he definitely.
Like everybody feared him, so the audience sort of did.
And he killed Charlie, in cold blood.
Yeah,
so.
that was quite brutal. But and I mean, and the fact that. Yeah, he sort of became kind of an ace card in a way, but like everybody expected was kind of smart.
Yeah,
because
no.
they kind of pieced everything together.
It was good, and I liked how he teamed up with the brothers, the Warren brothers.
Yeah. Well, because he initially wasn't he saying initially that he wouldn't because
Yeah, and then he does. I think mainly because
I guess because it's just common ground, and they want to get rid of
Yeah, Doc Holliday, and it's better to have more.
And the sheriff.
Yeah, and the sheriff, because he did that. So yeah, and then there's
I'd say, well, though Johnny at the end defeated quite relatively easily.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like, geez, you can't hold on to a woman who's like half the size of you. Come on.
Yeah.
Just arm around her a whole time.
Yeah. Like Dodo manages to
knock him to the ground.
Yeah. And then it was just like
one shot kill.
Yeah.
Come on.
At that point.
It was just silly. Though I did like their plan of he'd come from behind them where they weren't even looking.
Yeah.
That was quite good. But yeah, one problem with the gunfight: endless bullet guns. There was continuous firing. They only had 6 shots before having to refill. It was like pew, 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 pew. It was as many shots as the stormtrooper in Star Wars, and that's how often they missed as well. It was an okay shootout though. I think some music could have helped with that scene. Just some kind of just some kind of music in there. I mean, the Good, Bad and Ugly hadn't come along yet. I don't know.
I think it was just. Wasn't it? I think I read somewhere it's the same year.
Maybe it was. Let's check.
I have to say, I think I really did enjoy the sheriff's performance.
Oh yeah, no. What I did like actually is all the characters kind of had their own personalities. They weren't rubbish.
Most of them, at least your boarding characters all got a decent amount of screen time. You got to understand their motivations.
Yeah. Good, Bad and Ugly came out 2 years after.
2 years after.
1968.
I think it's one of the films.
Probably a cowboy film did come out, but cowboy films were all the rage back then, hence why they probably did it in Doctor Who.
I guess so.
Originally, so, I mean, it was odd, and then the gunfights, okay, see, I always thought Doc Holliday was going to bite the dust, actually. I always suspected that, his luck was going to run out But no.
But not in this
Besides-
story. Maybe some other time, but not this story.
Yeah. And then they kind of leave, and the Doctor, for some reason, throws away the wanted poster. Like, he got given a gift, he was like, oh! And just threw it to the side.
Yeah.
But I mean, the cliffhanger's quite nice, where they look out and see, and it's Doctor Who and the Savages is how it's put as the
I'd
next
say,
time.
but the ending was a little rushed.
How they leave. I mean, I don't even think they say bye to the sheriff.
No.
They just
So,
bye.
what was it?
It's just Doc Holliday and Kate, I think, at the end.
Well, yeah, it is just because Doc Holliday briefly mentions the sheriff and saying I think that he was leaving.
Oh yes,
the sheriff.
and then they leave the thing, and then suddenly Kate's singing with piano. It's like the amount of time, like how close is where the TARDIS landed to the bar? Because it's hey, wait, listen. Do 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 do. It's like okay, she got there very quickly.
No,
but hey ho,
must have ran.
Small kind of thing. I mean, I think this might have been better as like a 3-part story.
Possibly. Though it did kind of need to build up. Though maybe if you took out all the songs, it might have been a 3-part.
Yeah, because it was a bit like we need some filler. Like Sheriff. Right now we're gonna have a song, so just look awkwardly. There's a lot of just like stills while the song plays. There was, I think, a lot of padding. There was a reason for that as well. I think actually in the VHS cover they had the song actually printed out, so you could actually sing it. I mean, I only hear Auntie Mabel now because that's who sung it. Linda Barron, who played Auntie Mabel in the kids show Come Outside. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent story, I guess.
Okay.
It's not William Hartnell's best or worst. I quite like having it still, but I could, if someone twisted my arm, I probably would swap the 4 episodes for something else. I don't think it would be like women's space.
That's only in retrospect, and you can't really help.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have it, I'd want it. Like it would. Yeah, I have it. I would swap it. I don't know. What would you guys swap it? Comment below. I don't know. I kind of maybe would get. You could swap it for the Massacre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though maybe the book's better.
But maybe
than the
we
actual
pick the same thing about the Massacre. If the Massacre we had instead of this.
Yeah, true. Though I would love to see Stephen storming out. That would be quite a good scene, I think. Actually, I would quite like to see the Savages as well. I mean, it was in the most recent. Well, when we were recording this most recent Doctor Who magazine, it's the one they talk about, and it just looks so kind of different and interesting that I'd like to see it. I'll probably get the audio CD, but they're really expensive now. Well, it depends where you look. But yeah, I'd say good because it was a large cast and so on, and sets were great. But I mean, there's not much else really to talk about. There's a lot of padding really. Where they're just talking about plans and what they're going to do, and I'd say it's a very padded story.
Yeah.
Very much, and it's one you kind of watch every probably 2 years or something if you feel like it. No, I do like the DVD cover, nice and orange, which kind of suits the kind of cowboy kind of feel of it. But very comical. So I guess we should move on to the good, the bad, and the nerdy. Really, there's not much else to say.
Yeah, no, really isn't.
I think. So 3 good points.
Sets, wonderful. Really captures the Wild West quite nicely and has quite a decent amount of locations for what it is. I would say general acting quality from William Hartnell to Doc Holliday. They're all really well done.
Yeah, and I'd say it is actually one thing. I mean, he was ill just a few weeks before doing the Special Toymaker, hence why he turned invisible. You don't really see any illness here. He doesn't look at us all really. I mean, he looks like he's still kind of giving it his all. So
yeah. I mean, of course, he does he plus a couple of lines like he does.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But that's always kind of lovable. Does everybody always talk perfectly?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of that Doctor's, I guess, it's become more of a character trait than a...
Yeah.
And the third thing, I would say Aldous doesn't, I guess, hold back. I mean, it's quite a dark episode. Like, a lot of people die quite brutally, and like the whole like lynching and all that. They don't really hold back on it.
Yeah, it's quite a dark subject, really, as well. Lynching.
I mean, at this point, they weren't really holding back, I guess, because I guess this is the era before like a lot of people became more and more like sensitive stuff. Like, which was happening like, in the 70s and 80s and stuff. Because like you have episodes like Planet of the Giant where they're literally wandering around a dead body and stuff. So it's like morbid, and you wouldn't really see that much like this in like the modern Doctor Who. I think they'd be too afraid to do an episode like this.
I mean, they didn't exactly even reference it, but that's what they were planning to do in A Town Called Mercy. They're like, oh, just walk away, and when you come back, it will be done. They never, specify they're going to hang him or anything.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because they didn't want to upset anybody. But
usually they're too afraid to go really as far as this did, I think. Which I think,
the thing
it's okay, but like
they added a bit more of a threat though with Stephen there.
It made you feel like you were actually there as opposed to a version of the town which is slightly softer.
Yeah, it gave it that harsh feel that.
This is the Wild West. People can die at any moment.
Yahoo! But okay, some of my good points. I'd say Sheena Marsh and Anthony Jacobs, the way they played off each other, and even the way that Jackie Lane played off those two as well. It was a really good kind of trio right there. Stephen kind of took the back foot really, and is better in other stories, though we don't see him much, which is a shame. He's good in the Time Meddler, I guess. I'd say that sets, definitely the sets and how big they were and how, vast. And then probably the third, I'd say the directing by Rex Tucker is incredibly good. Because I'd say it depends. If this one was trying to be comical, then I would say it was a good point. But if it was kind of...
I think a bit of both. I think there is a bit more
some
comedy.
Some parts were comical which weren't supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
Like the Yahoo, I think. And...
I would agree.
And when the three guys were trying to say something at one time, but they weren't all sure when to say it, so they kind of tried it, but it didn't really work out, but it was good enough to get in the thing.
I didn't have many takes.
Yeah, well, it's expensive because they had to cut the tape and then reattach, it's effort and money. Money is effort. So 3 bad points.
The pacing being as slow as it is, like, it's okay to, because I think we kind of expect going into this, considering the era and considering the subject, that there'd be more talkiness in the average episode, which is fine, but it's just that not a lot is really accomplished for quite a while. And as Nick mentioned earlier, the thing does start to lose steam and is only picked up when Johnny Ringo's there. He kind of saves the second half of the episode. To be honest, like if he wasn't there, I think it would kind of just fizzle out. I guess. I would say there are some like not things that don't really go anywhere. I guess like the Doctor becoming deputy, then not becoming deputy. I mean, I know that references to real life, but like he didn't do anything with it.
It's a bit plot filler,
back and stuff like the smaller detail. Well, like they go into quite a lot of depth in some things, but like not everything. The first thing, and probably the biggest, the song.
Yeah.
The song. That's just you get sick of it by the end of episode 1. Let alone 4 episodes. I guess if you space it out like they did when you...
it's not as bad.
Yeah, when as if it was originally broadcast, I guess it's not quite as bad. But like even still, in the episodes themselves, you can get sick of it.
Definitely, yeah. So I'd go, 1 is, the song too often, twice an episode. Even after people died, it's like, it's curtains, I don't care. 2, I would say, the pacing was very, very slow. I mean, not a lot happened to episode 1. The Doctor gets his tooth out and they play the piano and sing, "Hey." Okay, and we find out these people don't like Doc Holliday and there's a bit of confusion. But it's kind of, you could probably do that in 10 minutes if you really wanted.
Yeah.
Or 15 if you were pushing it, but 25 is a bit stretched out. You know, it's about paper thin there. That was on a script, so hey ho. And third thing, the gunfight is okay, but then it's also, in some ways, it became... I know I found it, like, it was good to start with, I was like, cool, but then kind of towards the end it was a bit like, not much was happening, they didn't try anything kind of really grand or anything, it was just, oh look, explosions, you know.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I think someone should have tried to do a window shot and then get shot and fall out the window. You know, something like something just a bit more grand for this big shootout, not just a bit more like hide under, you know, over fire and don't actually aim at all, just fire quickly.
Oh yeah, and actually, the sheriff and his brother. And when the gunfight starts, they just sort of wander forward in the middle of the road.
Oh, no, I kind of like that though, because then you don't
but like, how did nobody
both, like, shoot at the
how
first
did nobody hit him?
Because I guess the guns back there weren't great. But yeah, I know. I did quite like it. How they all walk forward and then suddenly boom into action. That was quite a good thing. But yeah, I guess onto the nerdy.
Yeah.
So the song was sung by Linda Barron, who also appeared in Closing Time as Val. That's the lady at the desk, who thinks the Doctor and Craig are gay. And in Enlightenment, the Fifth Doctor story as Captain Rack, which is also the well-known children's show Come Outside lady who had the dog Pippin. Oh, what a show. No more lyrics appeared in songs throughout the rest of the Doctor history until the Christmas invasion.
Yeah. Two of the actors who appear as Charlie the Barkeeper and Seb Harper are two of the Thunderbirds voice actors who play the Brain and Scott Tracy. Which actually, I can hear that in the bartender. I can really hear the bartender as Brains. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. But also Charlie the Barman voiced the Daleks. So, yeah, he got exterminated in this one. And later played Kerensky in City of Death. So, yeah. Doc Holliday's, who played him, Anthony Jacobs, he took his son Matthew to visit the set while they were filming. 30 years later, Matthew Jacobs wrote the 1996 Doctor Who movie. So, yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah. This is the last Doctor 2 episode until the invasion of the dinosaurs to have individual episode titles.
Yeah, and Invasion of the Dinosaur, it kind of counts. The first one was called The Invasion because they didn't want to ruin the dinosaur part, and the rest were called Dinosaur. So I kind of count that, and kind of not. That's why episode 1 got deleted because they thought it was the invasion of the second Doctor story. But yeah, is there anything else?
Still looking.
Yeah, Donald Quatton also wrote Myth Makers. And yeah, Rex Tucker was originally supposed to direct An Unearthly Child. And apparently some say that Rex Tucker came up with the show name Doctor Who, while others say he says it was Sidney Newman, but so there's kind of a confusion.
I mean, who knows? The interesting thing, this is the first episode to actually title the episode title to have the Doctor as opposed to Doctor Who. Which, like, whenever they reference Doctor in a title, it'd be Doctor Who, like, right up to, like, Doctor and the Silurians and stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be until the Doctor dances where they use the, like, I guess, correct way of saying it in the title.
Thank goodness. It's Doctor Who, not he. His last name is not Who.
Yes.
Don't be one of those people. It hurts us, like, physically.
Deep inside.
It's like a cut. Like a paper cut on the heart, and every time someone gets it wrong, it's a paper cut. Oh, they actually did do the Doctor Who thing in this episode. Remember, he goes, I'm Doctor, and he puts a really weird long name, and it's like, Doctor Who? And it's like, quite right. It was like along those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one's part of the Earth's...
hang on, this is interesting, hang on. Rex Tucker requests that his director's credit be removed from the closing credits of the Corral following a disagreement with Innes Lloyd over the editing of the episode.
Yeah, it was of the episode, when they were editing the final episode, OK Corral, is when they had the complete... that kind of argument. And originally this was going to be called the Gunslingers instead of the Gunfighters. I think
or it could have been the Gun Dash Fighters, or it could have been the Wild West. They're the three working titles.
I think Gunslingers actually is kind of the best.
It works. I mean, either way, it doesn't... It gets kind of the same effect anyway.
Yeah. So this one was released in the Earth Story box set with The Awakening.
Yes.
So if you wanna see this one, that's the one to get, the Earth Story.
Not that either of the episodes are particularly
fantastic, but if you want to complete your collection, that's the one to get. Which is, it's kind of odd they put those two together. I think they should have just been...
I guess it's just two episodes, they couldn't think of anywhere else to put it. It's like, we could release it separately, but nobody would buy these episodes.
By themselves.
And we
so
didn't
let's
really
just put them together, so people just get them at once. Yeah, maybe. I mean, one thing is, which I've always noticed at like HMV or online, so so Black Orchid or something like that, $5.99 at like HMV. And then you can look at something like, quite a long story, let's try and think of one. Like the Keys of Marinus, or what's another long one? The Dark Invasion of Earth. Same price, okay? But like, you've got to see how many episodes are in it.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying $5.99 for only 2 episodes, or you're paying $5.99 for like 6 episodes, you know?
Well, it's true, but I think the cost is like based on like the material.
Yeah, I know, but it's like...
DVD printed. Yeah, and some episodes will have more value than others.
So kind of...
And actually, that's why I sometimes like buying things off Amazon, because of how like they kind of...
Sometimes they do.
They do, like for smaller episodes, I think they sometimes put it a lot less, and like... Some of the bigger episodes, they're still not that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends from episode to episode. Sometimes you'll actually find it cheaper in like a place like HMV than you do on Amazon.
Yeah.
I found that, but you have to just kind of
Know
keep
your
your eye
shops
out
and
just
keep
see.
looking. But yeah, so it's just something I always noticed. I was like, wait, why am I going to buy this 3-parter when I could get a 6-parter? Let's go with the one that gives me more hours to watch. But yeah, anyway, that's a different thing. So yeah, conclusion.
So this episode has its strong points. Sets are nice. The acting is good. William Hartnell still really strong in this episode and getting some good screen time, like upon being close to the end, which is always nice to see. It doesn't hold back in its violence. It respects its source material quite well, and in some moments it's really quite entertaining and quite exciting. In other moments, it is very slow. It takes a very long time to get anywhere, and some of these things could have been cut out without a lot being lost. And this is really not helped by that song. I know it's a point that a lot of people bring up, but the song just on so constant repeat, like sometimes in relative quick succession, it really grates. It really, really grates. If we'd heard it like once every now and again, it might have been okay, but like in fact, they do it for pretty much every death, lots of the transitions, people sing it in the episode. It is pretty much the only piece of music in the entire episode. I think it is the only piece of music in the entire episode. And that just makes it so grating to watch, especially if you're watching them all together. I imagine it would be more okay back in the day when it was like on a weekly thing, because, well, you might not entirely remember how grating it was, or you might have. But nevertheless, it is an issue. It's a pretty big issue. But I'd say overall, like, there's some good points, there's some bad points. I think it kind of evens out well enough to where I can say this episode for me gets a 5 straight down the middle. Like, some very good points, some very bad points. I think it's a fair assessment of it.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I think my conclusion should go in part of it should be in respect for the story, so in song. So, here we go. There's hats and there's cowboys, the sets are quite grand. The story's sometimes lacking, but the history's nicely planned. The Doctor is quite funny and the directing's fun, but you all must get ready for the endless bullet guns. I had fun writing that. Thank you. But in all seriousness, this is an interesting take on a historical story, because it's not exactly one that everybody knows. I mean, I actually looked it up afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay, those were actually people who existed. You know, originally I thought it was just Wild West and they kind of made up the characters, but no, Big Nose Kate and all that happened. So it's nice setting, and the song, though it's played too often, twice an episode would have sufficed. It's just,
even then it might have
and it's crazy, but yeah. And it's because it was so many lines as well, or sometimes just 2 lines, and then it came back like 4 minutes later with another 4 lines. Yeah, it was too often. The acting's good, a little different, as it's rather light-hearted and comical moments. It feels more like a pantomime than a Doctor Who kind of story is what I'd go with. The introduction of Johnny Ringo has done it at a good point, as it raises the stakes, but in some ways it's a bit too little too late after the first episode, not having much in plot, except these guys want to kill Doc Holliday, but think it's the Doctor. That's kind of, in a nutshell, that's it. Guys want to kill Doc Holliday, think it's the Doctor. That's how you describe it in kind of a sentence. Here's a nice kind of feeling of a third. It's nice to have this story because it's of the 3rd season of the first Doctor, you know, which a lot of that is missing. So it's nice to see how the show is progressing at that point in its history. But the writing style is very different, but it kind of makes it feel fresh and nice. The Gunfighters isn't the best William Hartnell story, but it definitely isn't the worst. And I give the Gunfighters a 6 out of 10. As it plays to its strengths, being comical, I'm going to go with the thought that it was purposely comical. If not, it would probably drop down to a 5. But because it tried and it did make me laugh, I'm kind of giving it the benefit of the doubt. Because, you know, it had intense scenes, you know, with the guns and the standoff in the bar with the Doctor, the guns, and the Doctor, you know, getting them, you know, to drop their guns and steam to give it, and then the shot, and it actually turned out to be Doc Holliday, because everybody gets confused and think the Doctor shot, and it was good. However, it does become so repetitive, and scenes and themes seem to let it down sometimes. But yeah, worth getting to complete your Doctor Who box set, you know, collection, but not definitely the first one to get out of William Hartnell. There's plenty of others to get first, but I'd say it's probably in the Earth Stories box set, as we've reviewed both now. It's worth getting for the Gunfighters, because at least that has some enjoyment. Awakening's a little harder.
As I said, new episode is particularly strong. If you're looking for a box set, this is not your first choice by any means. Like, this is probably, if you're putting them in priority and you just don't care like about, say, doing things in chronological order, just like, this episode is, I think, in the overall standing of like box sets, would probably be the bottom or close to it in terms of what you'd want to get.
Out of one's box sets which have only 2 DVDs in, the other one I'd say is that's rather weak, if because on Doctor Who standards, is you have to get A Girl's Best Friend to get the Invisible Enemy. The K9 one's a bit. That's okay.
I mean, I think that one's more.
But it's nice
I mean,
to
we'll
have
get into that. It's kind of an interesting story.
But yeah, the other 2 ones which only have 2 episodes in is the Space Museum, I think, and the Chase.
Arc of Infinity.
Those 2, Arc of Infinity and Time Flight. I'd say those 2 are both better.
Rescuing the Romans.
I'd say, I'd probably put this one as probably the worst.
Yeah.
To not because Gunfighters any bad. I mean, it's kind of the Awakening pulling it down completely.
Well, I'd say, as I said, the Gunfighters isn't exactly the strongest story in its own. Like, it's not one that would hold up a box set in itself.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a bad story, though.
No. As I said, I put it as a 5. It's middling. Like, it has its... But it's more... When I say it's middling, it's more like it has some very good strong points, but it has some very bad weak points. So it kind of...
Which is mainly the slowness. It really drags it down, I'd say.
And that song.
And yeah.
But
yeah, so tell us what you think of the Gunfighters below, if you've watched it, and then tell us, you know, are you planning to watch it, and, you know, get ready for the song. Hope you enjoyed my kind of singing. It was half-hearted, but I did have fun writing that, actually. It took me a short while, so enjoy it, or not. Yeah, hey-ho. But yeah, so tell us what you think below, and watch our other reviews, please, and tell us what you think of those ones. And yeah, I mean, I probably actually another reason why I gave it a 6 is I really enjoy black and white Doctor Who. It's kind of, I have a bit of bias towards it.
I mean, I do.
I think it's just because it was the start, and they were the pioneers, and they started it.
But this was still like 3 seasons in.
Yeah, I know, but it's still, and plus it was just way before I was born. And, it's just I always find that fascinating. I find it way more fascinating because it was either like when my mum was young and when my uncle and dad were, still little kids that were still, so long ago, over 50 years,
But I still like to take episodes on their own merit.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I always have a bit of, I'm always like, yay, black and white whenever we choose a black and white one. Like later on in this batch. Well, hey, see you then. So thank you very much. Subscribe or
not. You could just be one of those brothers gang, just against authority, against the sheriff. Please don't try not to kill so many brothers.
Yeah, don't kill Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie did nothing wrong.
Spoke too much, but yeah, maybe like we do.
Justice for Charlie.
Yeah. Hashtag justice for Charlie. Make it trend. But yeah, so thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Oi.